Competitive COD League fans, how are we doing? My name is Franz, and it is another Thursday night, so you guys all know what that means. We are going for another six-man prop here on the channel. Guys, we have three matches lined up for tomorrow's matches, starting off at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm really excited to get back into some COD League. It's been a couple weeks since the players have played any matches, so this is the very first round of matches, so definitely take this first round with a grain of salt because anything can happen in this first week. Any player can pop off, but once we start to notice a couple trends here and this first week of matches does finish up, I do believe the second week will be a lot easier to predict. We're going to start getting some stats rolling through and can look at things a little more in depthly. However, this is going to be my dead set predictions here. We're going for a six-man prop here. And I do have some stats to go over, but mainly it's going to be a really feel out kind of six-man here because there isn't a lot of stats to go over because Major 4 did just wrap up and there was a couple weeks of a break. So we don't have a lot to go over other than just, overall player performance and, just some trends we've noticed with certain players just underperforming in game modes overall. So let's get into the six-man prop here. Really excited for this one. I do think it actually might hit today or coming up tomorrow. There's a chance it doesn't hit. There's a chance a couple players may pop off here that shouldn't pop off. Joe Deceives is one of these players. However, they are going up a very strong Atlanta Faze, and I am really starting to notice a difference in these very upper echelon teams and these very lower echelon teams, and it just seems like a lot of these lower teams kind of lost heart or just, there's just a lack in communication. They're just making simple mistakes that they shouldn't be making at this level anymore. And so it's ending up costing them series. And in this Atlanta Phase one, I do expect Atlanta to come out swinging. They want to start off hot in this stage 5 and just get the ball rolling here to, crush out the rest of the weekend. I do expect a 3-0 here. I don't really expect anything to be close. And so we're going to go map 1 to 3 kills here under for Joe Deceives. You could look at map 1 instead, but I like going map 1 to 3 here because it gives you kind of like a cushion here so that you're not like just banking on map 1 and he maybe has an insane map 1 but then he has a lackluster map 2 and map 3. That's kind of all we need. If he does have one insane map, that's okay, but with map 1 to 3 kills you can hopefully expect that he's going to have a lackluster performance in 2 of those 3 game modes. So expecting Joe Deceives to go under here. I do like this first pick here. Let's go over a couple stats with Joe. You don't really have a lot to go over here, but his average kills all time is at 16.3, which isn't really that high. Anything to, write home about. 17.1 in the average deaths in all time, and that's really all you get for Joe. I mean, he is a very new player to the league, and that's really all you're gonna get. So Joe Deceives under, going up a very strong Atlanta Phase team. I do expect this one to hit under. And then to follow this up, guys, we're going to go map 1 kills, and we're going to take Slasher actually here at the 21.5 mark. This is very strange to me. He usually is around like 19.5 in the hardpoint kills. I guess they put his lineup a little bit higher because they are going up against a stronger team or a weaker team in LAG, so maybe they expect him to get more kills. However, with the other 3 players on this team, I do expect Slasher to hit the under. I think a lot of the homies in the Discord actually shouted this one out. I think I did see a couple people making this pick, so it is a very common pick. Slasher on the under map 1 kills. He usually just hits that mark mainly because there's 3 pretty good slayers on this team, and he's just had slower AR for the team, and he didn't really have a great stage 4 in hardpoint. I mean, he did play very well on LAN, however on the online split it just wasn't for him. So Slasher map 1 kills, we're gonna go the under there. So that's 2 out of the 6. Let's go into the Optic versus Vegas matchup. I don't really need to go over stats for Slasher, guys. I think we've seen those enough times. So let's move on here. This is where it gets kind of interesting. Optic Texas. I think everyone is playing phenomenal on this team, but it just really depends who's going to have that pop off, series. So it's really hard to predict what more you want to choose. You could go Shotzi or Hook here. They both have been playing insane. However, there is a chance they only get like 24. I see Shotzi get like 24 on a hardpoint opening map like all the time. So that is kind of risky. I don't really love these lines at 24.5. So I think I'm going to shy away from the hard point here or the respawns in general, and I think I'm going to go for this Good old Dashy 6.5 over. I like the matchup here with Optic Texas and a very strong Vegas S&D team. These are both really strong S&D teams, and Dashy is very consistent at getting 7 in this game mode. He's just a really strong S&D player, and even when there's an SMG like Hook, obviously Hook's at 8 here because he's been playing insane in the game mode, so he's at 8 kills, so obviously don't want to try to go for that line. But even when there's an SMG popping off, you'll see Dashy put up these numbers of around 7 or 8, just pretty much every single S&D. He's just really consistent, playing an outside lane with the AR and just winning his ones. He's one of the best ARs in the game, has one of the best shots, cleanest shots. So if there's a 1v1, usually Dashy comes away with it. So I do like this 6.5 line, and I do expect this S&D to go the distance, obviously against a really solid Vegas Legion team. So S&D for Dashy, 6.5. I really like this one. We're going to go with the more here on map 2 kills. It's going to be our only S&D pick, I believe, of the 6-man. Next up, guys, I do have everything written down for you because we are in the lab grinding these out, studying the board, studying what we think will be the best picks. We are going to go back to the map 1 to 3 kills, and we're going to go with TJ, guys. I do like our, I mean, I'm debating here, guys. I'm debating either map 1 kills or map 1 to 3 kills, but both lines are very, very small. I think I'm going to take here map 1 to 3 kills, TJ here on the under. The SMG duo of Hook and Shotzi is probably the best one in the game right now, and if they do play up to the performance I'm expecting them to, I mean, look at their lines right now, 54.5, 53.5 respectively, so they are very high lines, and those are definitely risky to take, but with them getting a lot of kills, that means TJ is probably being sent on the burner, just, respawn after respawn. He's not getting many kills and he's just, in that spawn trap most of the time is what I'm hoping for. I don't really expect him to be putting up the numbers if anyone's standy is that main slayer for the team. So yeah, I do expect TJ here, 46.5. It is a very low line. It is probably one of the riskiest plays of this 6-man. In a 2-man, we actually ran, I believe, Hook here on map 1 kills. That is in a 2-man in my past video, so make sure to go check that out. But yeah, I don't think I really want to run that back to back, and I don't really know what else to run for this Vegas team. This is a very, very tough call, guys. So really, really take this one with a grain of salt. Maybe you just run a 5-man here. Obviously, I'm going to go for the full 6. TJ map 1 to 3 kills is what we're going to go for because, Vegas has just been kind of, slower in these respawns, and, Optic is Optic, and they do have a very good sub duo. So TJ under map 1 to 3 kills. That's my reasoning behind it. I hope it works out there. Let's move on though. I'm going to skip Toronto for now because there's a lot to unpack there. That's kind of one of those teams as well. They're just a very team-oriented team. Like they just play together very well. They play very tight a lot of the times in the respawn. So it just kind of means anybody could pop off at any time. Scrap usually is that guy on the control, but you never know. So skipping over Toronto here, let's go over Seattle. I really like Pred here on the more in map 1 kills, guys. This is also another risky play, but if you look at the stats, let's just go over just the best player in the game, and it's probably gonna be Pred. I mean, he's maybe a Beezy's up there as one of the best as well. Cell obviously has a great KD, but this guy Pred, man, is just so consistent at getting so many kills on the maps, like pretty much every single map. I mean, his average kills per 10 minutes is at 24.2. So if the hard point's going remotely the distance, this guy's getting over that, 25 mark. He's definitely putting up numbers pretty much every single map. He's the main slayer for the Seattle team. Pretty much the whole team revolves around him. Mac plays all the dirty work, and Pred gets it done with the kills. So I like this mark at 25.5 for Pred, especially because they're going up a good respawn team in Toronto. So I do think these guys will go head to head in this first respawn, and that means Pred is going to be putting up numbers. So I like this line here at 25.5. We're going to take Pred here on the more, and if he's putting up numbers, I do expect Seattle to probably steal that first hard point. If he's putting up those kind of numbers, I think I'm going to also go map 1 kills, and we're going to go Hixie, but we're going to go on the under. This is kind of the dirty work player for Toronto. He has had some pop-off maps. This is kind of a risky one. However, I'm just not really entirely sure what to run with this Toronto team. So guys, if you want to take out this Vegas and this Toronto pick, feel free to just run a 4-man here. That's completely fine. You could definitely run that and find success. I'm going to go the full six man. This is the other risky play I was talking about. Hixie, I do think he will hit the under here in map 1 kills, mainly because I think Pred is going to be popping off and Mac's going to want to show up as well because he did have a very tough stage 4 major. If you guys did see that, make sure to look at it because I think one of the most craziest chokes in COD, in my opinion. But crazy stuff. Anyways, yeah, so we're gonna go Hixie here. Map 1 kills under. This one's still just up in the air, guys. I'm still not 100% positive on it. Let's go over some stats here. I want to really dive in, look at Hixie here, see where he kind of, matches up against other people. He is very low on the list here. His hardpoint kills per 10 minutes is at 20.2. Maybe we look at the S&D. The S&D kills per rounds at 0.61, so that one is very low as well. And then his control kills is at 15.8. So you could look at a control here. However, I do think the control will go the distance because these teams are both solid at the game mode. Obviously, Toronto being that stronger control team. So I'm going to stick with, do we go map 1 to 3? Is that 47.5? That's tough. I mean, yeah, I think I'm going to stick with map 1 kills here for Hixie. We're going to go the under 21.5. I do expect this to hit. Hopefully it does. I do think Insight is playing a lot better in this game mode, and he has been putting up more than 19.5 recently. So we're going to go with Hixie here. The scrappy SMG for this team, doing the dirty work. Hopefully he's hitting the under here. Hopefully Pred's having a map, and this is what we're gonna go with. These are the predictions we're going with. I mean, I hope I'm right. I feel really good about this one. Let's lock it in here, guys. I think we're gonna go a cheeky $50, so we can get that return of 1,200 if we do end up going 6 for 6. And make sure I have everything right here. Let's drop it down the line. Joe deceives. Map 1 to 3 kills. Under slasher under at map 1 kills. Dashy over at map 2 kills, pretty much one of our only overs, as well as Pred on the over at map 1 kills, TJ at the under in map 1 to 3 kills, and then Hixie here just on map 1 kills. We're going to go under. This one I am very worried about. I do hope this hits. I really feel good about this prop in general. The 6-man I do feel solid about, and hopefully we can have a day tomorrow, guys. I'm really excited to get back into these matches. Let's place the entry here, lock it in, and let's go over to my entries here so you guys can see the full 6-man. There it is for you guys. Thank you so much for joining us on this video. I do feel a lot better since a couple days ago. We have been grinding here, looking at some apartments, so maybe we will be at a new location here pretty soon. Also, guys, we are just enjoying the summer here. It has just started. I just finished up my last final. Really glad to get that finished up. Just a little life update for you guys, life of Franz. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us here. Go sub to the YouTube. Go follow us on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch. Follow the socials. We're going to be pumping out that content more and more as the weeks go on. I'm really excited to just dive into the rest of the COD League and beyond. So thank you so much for joining us. Like if you're tailing, and I will see you on the next video. Peace.